those of you who've not met me before, my name is Linda Reed-Enever. I've been an ideas and marketing strategist for over 21 years, and that is all I refuse to claim. I'm going to be 21 in the world of marketing for the rest of my entire life, and that's how I'm going to run through this process. I'm a coach that's a little bit different. I like to teach you what I do. I like to teach you how we put marketing together. It's one of the things that we run inside of our marketing circle community, and it's why we're here today. I've been using MeetEdgar for the last 10 years, and I've been involved in MeetEdgar's journey pretty much since they first started it and launched in another brand entity. But my current account has been on the process from March 9 for 10 years along the way. I run a business publication, which means I get to test software on a regular basis. So yes, I can be bright, shiny object into another social media scheduler and all of those sorts of things. What keeps bringing me back to MeetEdgar time after time is the component of being able to create socials once, put them into a category, and make sure that it's the content's delivered again and again out to our audience. Now, the MeetEdgar website will say that they save a certain amount of time each day. I know for us, it saved us close to 8 hours a month as soon as we started to bring the evergreen things in. Now, from our point of view, we then were able to bring in, as MeetEdgar went through, bring in Pinterest, bring in other platforms, bring in other things like that. So from a marketer's point of view, it's a time-saving hack. Now, for those of us who are in business, we're not here to post on social media 24/7, and no one wants to see my posts on social media at 2 a.m. in the morning when I'm up and alive and I go, yeah, this is a really good idea. I'm going to post it together. So what I would like to do now is just for a moment is let Lacey introduce herself. Lacey is from MeetEdgar and say hello. She's new to the MeetEdgar team. For those of you who've worked with me in the past, you might have known Megan when we've been running webinars here. And you can also see Anna from the team, and Sophie is also here to support it as well today. Lacey, would you like to say hi to everyone?
Sure, of course. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. I've been only with MeetEdgar for a very short amount of time. I'm just coming up on 5 months now. So every time I chat with Linda, I learn something new. And we thought it would be really great to have her host this webinar to teach the community more about how to maximize MeetEdgar. I come from a marketing background, but I actually hadn't used MeetEdgar. And so I've been in marketing for 20 years in a variety of industries. So I've been in tourism marketing. I've worked in an online marketplace. I've also worked in plumbing wholesale. So all over. And I'm really excited about MeetEdgar. What drew me to it was the mind shift. Instead of focusing on scheduling each post individually, building up your content library and really maximizing that evergreen content. And I just think it's so cool because I can see how it benefits so many small business operators. So
It does.
yeah.
And trust me, my husband would not run on social media without it.
Yeah. And I'm really excited that some of my team's here too. So
Fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to paste into chat, guys, the link for MeetEdgar. Now, I will full disclaimer, we're referral partners. If you do happen to purchase through our link, it will possibly generate us a small commission. And there is a coupon code for Enever Group, which will give you 20% off any plans for the next 12 months. So if you're wanting to have a look at it and get started, there is a coupon code that you can jump in and get started with along the way. We're going to jump into this. There's no fluff in these webinars. The key thing that we want to be doing when we're creating webinar content, we're using MeetEdgar, is we want to understand something that's called evergreen content. So evergreen content, like the tree that you can see behind me. Oh, maybe you can't see the tree behind me this morning because the camera's not angled that way. Evergreen content, think about it like a tree. See the plants that Lacey has behind her, they're evergreen. They're going to keep their leaves. They're going to stay green. They're not going to drop their leaves at any stage in time. Evergreen content is the content that we have that is our tips, the things that we repeat to people on a regular basis, the things that you get absolutely sick and tired and saying, and they're also the content that doesn't change year on year. It's content that will be the same. There's a couple of formats of evergreen content. There's the stuff that can be used any time of year, all year round. There is also evergreen content that is seasonal based. So you might have spring content, you might have summer content, you might have all of those sorts of things. So for the first second of this webinar, I just want you to pause for a minute and just think about tips that you tell people regularly, those top 3 tips that you tell people regularly, and just write them down on a piece of paper alongside you. Pause, give you a few seconds to do that. These tips that you're writing down are going to start the foundation of your evergreen content bank. These are what we're going to either use tools like Canva to create, Pictory, which I'm about to show you later on today, to create a video and to create some tips around that you can load to your MeetEdgar. You'll also, as business owners, quite often have blogs, have sales pages, have material that is going to be part of your evergreen content. And if you're a course creator out there, because I know a few of my audiences are, you're going to create a course and you're going to get sick of marketing your course before it is even done, before you've even really got it to market. This is where MeetEdgar comes in, and it allows you to be able to create a category for courses or a category for the different areas that we've got to promote along the way. I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to jump into the demo account that we're going to be having a look at today. So the business and the company that we're working for, the organization we're working for today, is Modern Widows Club. Okay, so they're a club based out of, now I can't remember, Catherine, do you want to feel free to?
Yeah, the headquarters is located in Winter Park, Florida, but she has like communities all throughout the United States, and it's also international as well. She helps a lot of widows in Nigeria also. So it's all over the place.
All over the place. So it's a movement for widow care dedicated to providing women with essential health. Now, inside this website, we're going to find elements in here like the widow empowerment quiz that are going to be evergreen content that we can start to be able to create information in the area. So I'm going to pull up that women empowerment quiz because, Catherine, it's going to be one of the things we'll use to create some content for you guys today inside your MeetEdgar. So MeetEdgar starts over here. It starts when you log into your MeetEdgar account, and you'll normally get taken to a dashboard, and the dashboard can look a little bit confusing. So when you're in your dashboard, you go, that's confusing. I don't need to be here right now. Okay. Just get out of there to begin with. The first place you're going to go is over to your settings, and then you're going to go to social media accounts. Okay. So you can add your Facebook page, and we've already done that because it's connected through your Facebook login. So Caroline's already done that for us. You can add the Facebook pages that you have inside there. You can add your LinkedIn profiles as well. And then you can add Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, Threads if you want to add Threads. And if you're a business that happens to have product that people can walk in and buy, you can add your Google My Business profile. Now, Google My Business is a once only post. They're not post multiple times, but they do like to see the blogs and that sort of stuff that you have, but they get very picky if they see the same posts over and over again. So you want to make sure that you're not doing too much in it. And bearing in mind, Google My Business is now transferred to Google Maps. So they're really prioritizing images of what that place offers and that physical service address. So if you don't have that, in all honesty, I would most probably stick away from Google My Business because you don't want to risk that listing. But the ones that I suggest everyone does is their Facebook page, their Instagram profile. I still think Instagram profiles have much better reach than pages, but if you've got a company page, you can add it and make sure that it's got some content in there. Pinterest is a highly underrated channel for growth. I've got videos going out into Pinterest where it's my least active platform where I do stuff, but I've got videos that are going out to Pinterest and are getting 600-700 views just because they're popping up in the feed inside Pinterest. So about content repurposing. And actually, I've got some repurposing I need to do this morning. We might even show you that as well. Might show you how I clip longer form video into a short form video. We've then got TikTok, which is brand new to the offering. And TikTok, once again, tends to be a once only platform. They don't tend to like to have repeated videos. You can say the same thing multiple different ways, but they don't like to have the options from there. So we connect our accounts. And once we've connected our accounts, the next place in settings that we need to go to is our categories. And we did a little bit of a setup from that. So everything from MeetEdgar is driven by the category. Okay, it's not driven by the day of the week post. Everything with the schedule we're about to set up is driven by the category. So the better we get in organizing our categories, the better schedule that we're able to create. So for the community that we've got here, we did start this the other day. We've got our general communities tab, which is going to promote each one of the communities the organization has. We've got the events for Modern Widows Club. We've got their paid resources. They have a Substack area that's popping inside that area. They've got stories and they've got tips. Now, I'm actually going to add one more category in here. Catherine, I'm just going to have the resources, which will lead off to things like the quiz and that sort of stuff. Okay, you happy with that? Okay. So I'll add the resources. Yep. Okay. I tend to include all of these in random because when we start to set up our schedule, quite often I will set up the schedule from the point of view of going, we're going to start having an occasional random post because occasionally you'll forget to put in a category into your schedule. So it's handy to have something coming from random. So the only other time I wouldn't put anything in random is if we didn't have the opportunity from there. Hey, Lacey, this is just a bug that I have picked up. Every time we add a category, it seems to be freezing on the page. It does work, but it is freezing.
We will note that. I haven't
Sorry.
experienced that. Yeah.
Apologies for that, but it is a bug that we picked
Good
up.
to know. Yep. Thank
Hey
you.
guys, this is software. If you pick up a bug, there's so many people working on software in the back area, just let them know. Sometimes you don't know where the bug is until something happens along the way. And we all have bugs within our business too, so don't stress. So we've set up our categories. The next component that we go to is not our schedule. We're going into our library, okay? Because the next component when we need to add stuff before we can do that is coming into our library. Now you can bulk edit or you can bulk upload a series of posts. It's not my recommendation. My recommendation is actually to do what we're about to do right now, is to start to put a few pieces of content in to fill each one of the categories. So up the top up here, you can see add new content. We'll hit the lovely add new content button. Okay, and we're going to choose our category. So we made that resources category, which was the quiz. And then we're going to look at what pages are we going to put it through to. So we're going to pop it through most probably just to the main Facebook page for now. I'll let Caroline check down the track if she wants it going out to her public figure page. Most probably this is not a video, so we can't do it through to TikTok. So right now we're going to do LinkedIn and we're going to do Facebook because this is what I call a link only post. So our content variation is going to be, so we're going to pop that URL, that's not what I wanted. We're going to pop the URL from the empowerment quiz, and I'm just going to steal a little bit of text from it and steal a little bit of text from that landing page. This is definitely running on the go. We're going to pop the text in, okay? Now I'm going to grab that URL. And the URL, and what the Widows Club has done really well here is they've embedded a Google form in their empowerment quiz, which is great. And there's a little video that's popping in there, but you could change that form out to any other type of form. So if we build it on our website and we build it on a URL, if we change the tech that runs our form collection or runs our data collection, we're always in a much better position moving forward. And same with booking calendars. If you've got appointments, you've got booking calendars, you've got sort of stuff that needs to pop in there. So there is our first one. We can see what the link preview pops up like down the bottom. So you can see the link preview there. And if you wanted to, you could create this post with another graphic with an image that would pop underneath it. And I quite often would do a little bit of both. If I knew that this quiz was in their link tree or in their link in bio, then I would be making sure that we've got that going through inside that zone as well, going to those areas and going, this is quiz and doing some Instagram graphics. But right now we're just going to do a link only post, as I like to call them, along the way. So now we've got the Inky here, which is MeetEdgar's content generator, which we can go generate content with Inky and it will create captions. I'm a control freak. I like to go variations. And so from here, we've put in our first little area. We could generate content with Inky, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to chat. And from Chat GPT, I'm going to write a prompt in that says, create social posts to encourage. Now, if I prep this chat properly, it will have the brand tone and the brand voice for the club. But hopefully I'm hoping that my chat's pretty good at being able to run through and get the details that we need inside there. I should have got it to put the URL in because I'm lazy and I don't want to. And what you're learning is about how do we prompt chat as a marketer to get content out. Now, once again, prompt it as you would be talking to your staff. So I've got to go, I forgot the link, so please. Now, there's lots of some dead giveaways when we're creating content from AI is the overuse of bolding and the overuse of icons and graphics, especially the ones like a strong arm that are not going to match. But can you see here now we've got widowhood is a journey. How empowered do you feel? So this is a really good call to action. I'm going to copy this one over. We're going to go into our MeetEdgar. How many tabs can Linda have open in one session will be good. And take those icons out. I'm going to get rid of the really ugly thumb point that is overused with AI. Okay, so to bring this into the brand tone and to be sitting a lot better, we're going to add our human touch. So we're going to put in start your journey here because we're really wanting to empower women on the journey. Catherine, does that look like something you would normally put out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So we have up to 5 variations that we can add. So we're going to go one more add variation. I don't like the icons that are popping in here. And you'll see that they're giving us ones for X and ones for those versions. But really, in all honesty, good quality content, if we craft it the right way, does not matter which platform as long as we're talking to our audience. Okay. Another big AI giveaway is this stupid, really big dash that they put in between stuff. I'm sure the guys at ChatGPT are thinking, she pays, yeah, not a problem. Ask.
I just wanted to know, is this called prompt writing, what we're doing right now?
We're
It's
doing a little
called,
bit of prompt writing. Yep. So that's what I'm
okay.
doing. And we could use the Inky to be able to do this, but I'm a little bit of a control freak. And obviously I've trained my chat to write in marketing terms. So
I think you got to be a control freak to work in marketing.
exactly. So at the model, that's most probably going to work quite well. I'm going to add one more variation in because I think we can. I always like it. We've got 5 variations. Why not use them? Be in all honesty, if you're going to create the social post, you're going to create the image. Let's put 5 variations of text in with it because it will mix it up and it allows you to maybe not feel like overusing the same content. Different hashtags, and you'll train and they'll come up with different hashtags along the way. So we've basically got our first series of variations in for Catherine now here. As I said, there's some things in there that we don't like. So we'll put in some semicolon in that one. And just keeping those things in there. So I don't mind keeping the yellow heart in there. There we go. Thank you, Grammarly, for correcting me. Yeah, Grammarly always wins in this office. If you're an office full of copywriters, that's how it works. Grammarly's the deciding factor that wins. And we'll go one more variation. So what I want to do with this one is, Lacey, and why don't we go generate with Inky in this one? So generate content with Inky. We've got 50 credits remaining on your plan. So this is one opportunity that you need to make sure that you're going to prompt this right. Okay. So we're going to ask it to create. So I'm asking it to create it similar to the post that we've already got going out there because we know that post is on brand. Okay. Cut down, guys, cut down the images. So now we can see here that we've got the text. So I will copy and paste this in because I want to make some edits. Once again, check your AI because it's really good for when we talk about strengths to put in a strong arm there, which in this particular situation is not relevant. So we've really got to check where our stuff is going. Bear with me. I just changed screens for a second. Not used to using this keyboard. The flower is different. So what I will do here is I'll go, we'll move the star. The flower is going to empower along the line here. I don't want quiz, a hashtag for quiz in the middle of my text because on LinkedIn and on Facebook, that never looks great. No one's ever happy with that. So we're going to pop in here now and we're going to jump in and, you're never alone on this path. There we go. So there we go. There's our first series of 5 posts saved and added to the library. Now you can also get MeetEdgar to suggest variations, which we'll do in another one, which I love as well. Especially if we've got a longer article or a longer piece of content, we can ask MeetEdgar to be able to suggest variations for us. So was that hard, guys? Did we manage to get a post in? Did we manage to get the same post in 5 different ways so that Catherine doesn't have to write it in 5 different ways? Isn't that amazing? Okay, Catherine, have we got another resource that I can get easy access to on the website here?
Let me see, because I'm on the website right now. So resource, let me try something else. I'm not sure, but let me see if I can send something over through Zoom because I know she typically sends like her new book. She sent the link for me. She sent that link.
Okay,
so let me try to see if
send me the link. That would be great. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is we can see that there's a whole community section. Okay, so there's community section of what these guys do. Now we had a community category. So I want to start bringing people through to the main page for Find Their Community. We can start doing individual posts for each one of the communities down the track, but ideally what we want to do right now is go and find their community. So we're going to pop the URL in, and this is where I'm going to use MeetEdgar inside its fancy little zone to do what we want. So we're going to grab, once again, some text. Connect with a compassionate community. So that's the key highlight text. We don't need to reinvent the wheel here. We just need to use the text that we know that's already engaging with our audience. Okay, so this is LinkedIn and Facebook, so not everything needs a hashtag when we're doing LinkedIn and Facebook, and vary up your posts. You don't want to be hashtag stuffing for the rest of your life and then find out what these platforms have done in the past, that they're going to remove hashtags and it means nothing, and then you've got to come back and edit all your posts out of hashtags. And I'll show you a bit of a cheats way to be able to do that later. So now we're going to go in here and we're going to ask MeetEdgar to suggest the variations for us. Okay, so MeetEdgar has created some variations. So it's talking about the courses and the 2. It hasn't picked up a great one for us here. So it hasn't picked up a great one. We can delete the variation out. Go, that one wasn't great. So it's picking up more content. Did I do the right thing? Yep, find your community. Okay, not picking up what we would particularly want from the page. You can see that it's picked up the e-course equips widows with health. It's most probably on the landing page. It's just that we're maybe looking for something else. Key things to look at in this area is we know that this is the sort of text that we want to bring in inside to this post. I'm going to say the courses in here. We've got courses, yeah, we've got courses to join the program, and there's resources and that sort of stuff. So it's picked up these components down here on the landing page, but most probably hasn't started to pick up the information higher up the page, which is what we want. And that's AI. Sometimes it just does that. And we just got to go, okay, this is life. Okay, join a local support community, and we might get a better result on something else. Not always, but we might get a better result. So join a local support community. So we'll copy and paste that in. Now you'll notice when it started to make variations, we had to copy the text in for Facebook down the bottom. That is not at MeetEdgar being a pain in the butt to you. That is Facebook being a pain in the butt to you, saying that all third-party programming tools must enter the text into a box at some stage. So when it creates a variation for you, that is what happens. I'm just going to jump into ChatGPT and go. So see how I actually put the URL in this time? It's a hell of a lot easier if we do that. So I'm just going to put some more variations in. I'm going to decrease the amount of hearts. Now, because I'm putting this variation in manually, we don't have to do the Facebook thing. Sucks, but it is how it works. Love you, Facebook. Just need to say I love you at the same time. It's all good. Also, not all that stress. Okay, so we sit in here along the area there, and we can see from here, this is the community in here. There's some advanced settings. I'm just going to show you this one. You've got the ability to then choose to use a post only once. So if it was running for an event, you might choose to only use that post once. Or you've got an opportunity to expire content at a specific date and time. Two features that I asked for MeetEdgar. And this is the reason I'm saying is because if you see a feature or something that you need as you're working with a tool like MeetEdgar, to reach out to them and speak to them about the option. So we still do. We run webinars and we run events. The posts that we put into our webinars and events categories need to expire after the registration closes. So if you want to go expire content at a particular time, you jump in through there and you just run it through the next step. That's not going to be the process here. Now, the other thing before I put too many links into Catherine's campaign, you can set up link shortening, which will shorten your links through a Bitly account or something like that. You can do it. You don't have to. I prefer to do it because I just like neat and tidy links along the way. So that can be something that you and Caroline can have a bit of a discussion about. But I just want to show how we put a couple of posts together. And then I'm going to set up a basic schedule for you guys today, and then we can come in and put some other posts in. So we're going to hit our lovely little save to library option now. We'll get that one in. We might just see if there's another post inside here that we've got, like this one.
I have a quick question. Would you like me to send a general posting over from just like an example from like a previous thing that I've posted before?
Yeah, feel free.
Because I'm like
put in the links. So we're going to save that one to our library. And that would happen there. So we've done some posts now that talk about local communities, okay, from the category. And we've done some very linked-based posts. What I'm going to do now is show you a really easy way to take that link that we've got some text and start to make a video-based post. So the tool that I use for this one is called Pictory. A couple of handy things that you have inside Pictory. You've got text to video. You've got an AI video editor. You've got images to video. You've got URL to video along that way. I'm going to do text to video for the first one, because I want this to be something we would most probably run in a shorts process. So we're taking the same text that we've just put together. The URL and the hashtags are going to be useless to us inside the video, but it is a really good, simple piece of text that we can use to be able to create a video from the journey over here. I normally just put the title in there from there. Our scene settings, we can highlight keywords and we can use visuals and those sorts of things along the way to be able to create with it spell checking for us. We hit the proceed. And what Pictory does is it takes the text that we've just got together, because not all of us are video people, not all of us are huge content creators, but we've got a whole heap of written content like I know Helen has out there. Helen, this is the easiest way for you to add tips to your tips library, like we were talking this morning, is just go pull some of this content out of the blogs. So at the moment, we see it tells you that it's stock watermarks. It's just part of the process. I'm going to want to be able to put this so we can use it for Reels, because this is when I'm using text to video, and most of the time that I'm going to want to be doing, we're going to use Reels. Now, my video maker won't have been fully trained on how to get the right images for this one, but it possibly has done an okay job. So it's coming through and it's just putting in the videos and some audio that will pop in inside there. So that same post, that same text variations that we've been able to use, I can now download a video like this and upload that video file to MeetEdgar, ready to go. Catherine, I'm not going to download this particular one. I'm just going to explain to people that we can go through it. Actually, see if I can make a quick little change. Visuals, because you guys have got a couple of videos I could most probably use out there from YouTube if need be. Let's just go. Hang on 2 seconds. The thing that you've got inside here is if you don't like the image that's sitting inside the graphic, like this one here, we're talking about Modern Widows Club, the last thing we need is men sitting on that particular graphic. So we can drag and drop something else in there. Oh, no, I don't have premiums. Okay. That might help. So we can look at bringing in, just clicking on and changing the video over. So it's pretty simple and easy. I'm going to actually grab it enough, but you might, Catherine, might decide to take it out of the schedule after you and I get on this journey. Okay, and scene 4. Yep, that's okay. Okay, so what we do now is we're downloading the video. There's audio put beside the video. So for those of you who have got text-based video, that's really handy. For those of you going, I don't have other video content, I don't know what the smart text is to write. The other one is to go from URL. So you can put in a blog post, you can put in anything like that, and it will start to generate that from the URL component. I'm going to go back to MeetEdgar now, okay, because we've saved our library. Yep, that's all good. Oh, it's because I did the advanced options. That's another weird thing that's happening. Shouldn't be it. Oh, we've gone back to the start. Okay. It's another weird thing when we're going between the two editors. And guys, that's most probably my computer because I still have access to the old MeetEdgar editor and not a MeetEdgar issue. That's most probably a case of my computer's cached in a slightly different area. So now what we can see is we're starting to build out our content library. So if we go over here to our library, we can start to see that we've got some posts that are sitting in there for finding the community, for finding the quiz. And we can see that we've got multiple variations that are sitting in there. I want to add one more type of content before I start adding to the schedule. Is everyone good with that? Okay. One of the other components, when we go over here, we'll go back to our dashboard. Bear with me, back to our library, maybe even. Library will work. And I've hidden everything with you guys up the top. We're going to hit add content. And these guys, as a beautiful organization, have a Substack community that works well for them. Now, I'm not a big Substack fan. I will tell you to keep all your content on your own website, but this works well for these guys. So I am not going to try and tell them to change that's promoting the content that they have out there on Substack. But I am going to tell them to make sure that it's going out to LinkedIn and it's going out to a number of places. I would be also at this stage in time looking at a Pinterest strategy to make sure that we're going to go through there. So the Substack, I knew where it was earlier today. Is this where our Substack stuff is? Blog, here we go. Got it. This is one of the reasons I don't like Substack. Not everyone's ready to put their email address in to access information. Catherine, you muted, honey.
Yeah, with the Substack, yeah, you have to pretty much enter as soon before you can even see anything. You have to enter your email address.
And that's why I'm not always a fan of that type of content, because sometimes we want free content on our website that attracts people to be able to come over and then come into the areas from there. Okay, we've got a public post here, and I'm hoping that it's going to allow me to be able to do this. Sorry, guys, I'm missing stuff in chat. Fantastic. It's all good. Oh, fantastic. I've got that book. I'll grab that in a second off chat. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm hoping this is going to work because, once again, Substack may not give us a public preview of being able to put the blog posts in. But it works well for them, and we obviously want to be promoting across as many platforms as we can. So we've got our options here. We're going to craft our content that I wanted. Where are we, Substack? Come on.
I do have a question, if you don't mind, about the content.
Yeah.
Would MeetEdgar good with zip files from Canva, or do you have to have them all individually downloaded to up? Because
I still prefer,
when we spoke with you,
I prefer to go not the zip file option. I prefer to check those images individually because that's where mistakes happen.
Okay, so when you upload them, is it good with rearranging for like carousels? Because sometimes when the file, like when the images like download, they're all over the place. So you can rearrange them.
Also, honey, just go straight create with Canva and bring it straight directly into MeetEdgar.
Okay.
So you can bring it in that way as well. But yeah, we just drag and drop the images and how we want them to be. Okay. Look, it's bringing up a link preview. Woohoo! Yes! Okay, fantastic. Let's see how it's going to go in suggesting variations. Once again, I could be pushing MeetEdgar just a little bit too far behind something that's technically behind a paywall. Okay. Variation is most probably not what we want in coming out of that. So I'm going to delete that. But can you see how this time it's given us 5 variations up the top? It's found enough content to think that it can go to 5 variations. Now, I should have read the post beforehand. Yep, beautiful. So see how we've got a post here that says Basil's win is a celebration on how the mission continues to inspire and transform lives one family at a time. That's a powerful statement. That's an emotional statement. It's going to pull on heartstrings. That's exactly what we want to be able to have to bring people over to the Substack community that will then pay and be behind the paywall of the community that's sitting inside here. So we're going to use that as one of our link previews. We're going to pulling on the heartstrings. We're going to jump inside that space. This feel-good story is more than just a proud moment for Basil and us. It's a shining example of the legacy. Once again, it's heartstrings. And this is when MeetEdgar is on fire. This is when it does its job really well at getting that emotional content out that we can use within our social posts. I'm just going to go variation 2. And once again, there's a good one, guys. Yay, crazy AI, did well. And you guys all think AI is new. MeetEdgar's been doing this for years. We've been doing this, baby, for years, the multiple variations. So now we've got one post. We've got 4 different ways to integrate that post that is a public post that can continue to be built through to Substack. So the reason I'm showing you a lot of link options inside the space today is because it's the best way that I possibly can to make sure that we go through this journey well. We'll hit save to library. So we've added content. You can add video, you can upload images, you can do all of those sorts of things. I'm a big believer when we're putting our content into our library, we always check it. So before I go and show you, I'll show you the schedule and then I will show you how we prep content for a client here. And then I'll show you one of our MeetEdgar accounts, okay, which you are all not to get freaked out over. My MeetEdgar accounts manage multiple brands. It does look a bit freaky, doesn't it, Helen? You've seen it in previous workshops. It can look a bit freaky, but it's going to show you how the schedule visually looks along the way. So the final space that we're going to step to is the schedule. And this is where you assign your categories. Now, I am not going to do this today for Catherine and for Caroline's account because they've still got to add more content before their schedule kicks into gear. Because if I add it now, it's only going to be sharing the same options. So MeetEdgar does do a little bit of research on the best times to post to different platforms. So it's got some suggested times here for LinkedIn, for Instagram. Now, Instagram's one I can play with right now because we don't have any content in it. So if I put a category in, it's not going to matter too well. This is where your categories now come from. This is now why having a resources category is important, having a paid resources one, having a Substack post is right along the way, because you start to go, okay, on Mondays, we want to post something from Substack, or on Tuesdays, we want to post something from communities. And we really start to use the categories to drive our content plan. And if you set your categories up like I do with lots of my clients, you'll have your promotional category. You'll have your tips category. You might even break those tips categories down into multiple areas. In my case, my categories sit around like creating impact. It talks about systems, we talk about tools, we talk about strategy, and we talk about those different categories, and it runs from there. You can repeat weekly, or you can choose that this category never repeats. So it's not going to repeat again. It's only popping up in that schedule for 1 week. But the power behind MeetEdgar is making sure that it repeats regularly and it repeats weekly and it keeps drawing from those categories. You can select the days of the week that it will post and send from. So you could go, okay, I want Substack to post on a Friday as well, and I'm happy for it to be at 10:30 both days. Then you hit save, and that will start to fill out your category. So I'm going to share screen with you for one more process, show you how we put together client stuff. And then I'm going to log out and log into our account so that I can show you how a set up MeetEdgar account is working. Has anyone got any questions so far? Okay. Foundationally, that's our main thing. And I'm not going to put those categories or anything in there for that, Catherine, because if I do, that's going to start posting, and we don't want to do that on your live account. Okay, over here, I have a couple of things. This is a client's account, and they've been lovely enough to allow me to be able to show you. We run everything through a master document format. So we put all the document, the information in there, the links, all the info that we need to have for our clients. We make sure our landing page text is there. Then we have our social media posts. So our social media posts are built on LinkedIn. Are built on for Instagram and for Pinterest size. Now, Facebook and Meta have agreed that this is the new image size. Apologies for anyone who's built an evergreen content bank out in Square that has to go back and change them now. I wish Canva would bring out an auto resize for all of those sorts of things. So we've got our text, we've got our social posts, and we've got our 5 different variations and different images along the way. Now, the reason we have 5 different images is Pinterest will allow you to post the same text as long as the image is different 5 different times, 5 times in the same day. Not that anyone wants to be following that strategy, but it does allow you to be able to make sure you've got multiple variations. So what happens then is we load the image with the 5 variations of text. We then load the next image with the 5 variations of text. We load the next image with the 5 variations of text. So what we've basically got here is we've got 15 different variations of the social post that we can have, because either the image is different or the text is different. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. So that's one way that we do it. That's a promotional one, and that's a promotional thing. So we keep everything in that one document. We've got the link up the top at the very top that will take you through the Canva files. Where are we? So we have the Insta images and we keep all of those things inside that space. We also do a download to an asset folder, and this one should have a MeetEdgar category. See, Lacey, we even have a category inside our planning sheets for MeetEdgar, and that should say promotional. That's one type of content bank that we would create that's evergreen and load to MeetEdgar, because product is there. We want to keep promoting the product. Unless the product isn't on sale anymore or we change a photo, those posts are ready to go. We don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. They will go out. We might add some variations down the track because we might get creative, or we might do a video, and we might add some new text and variations down the track. But basically, they're deposited in the content bank and they're ready to go. The other type of post that you'll do here is we'll see something what we're calling social posts. Now, these posts look amazing because my client is also an artist, so her art is used behind half the backgrounds in these. So it's amazing to be able to see it. These are tip-based posts. So what happens with this, you'll see that we've got 1 to 12, 12 to 13, because we're doing a big tip bank. We're basically creating 25 images and 25 tips to load to social. Catherine, that's one of the things I suggest you do for each one of your areas, is start to load those. And in your Instagram carousels, you most probably have that content already. So you'll see here that we've got helping children feel secure. So that's our topic number 1. So we've talked about creating a predictable routine. So that's the text, that's what's gone on the image. Then we've got text variations to go out with social media. Now, there's no links to go with this because this is educational content that we want posting out to Facebook. We want posting out to Instagram. And eventually we might resize to Pinterest if we write blogs that will match for this client that talk about predictable routines or sleep routines, and pin it back that way as well. So we've done 3 variations for this one. It sits inside that document, and then we will upload that to the tips or to the resources area. Once again, these are not tips that are going to change in any way, shape, or form. They are tips that are evergreen content. There's stuff that we say regularly about how to support kids through anxiety, and the tips are ready to go. So you're going to create yourself content banks like that, and you would create a master folder and things along the line like that. The same option that we have, though, is what we just did was that is to go to that tool like Pictory and be able to create video versions of that text as well, so that we can load that up as well. Questions? We're all good? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I have a question. I see you got the master document. How did you go about gathering all of this information?
That is one thing that we do as marketers. That's either my copywriting team or myself. It's a process that we've refined over many years. Jane, that is available to my marketing circle members. You get access to lots of our processes and workflows. I'm more than happy to pop a link into that membership later. It's where I teach what we do in marketing. Helen's a member. I don't know if any of my other members are here. There's a few, but it's something that we teach along that process. So it's a system and a file that works, and it works well. It's about storing the information in a way that you know how to come back to it. And for Jermaine, for you, this works really well for getting client approval because everything's in the one document. The client goes, yeah, I like it. And you go, cool, we're going to load, which is what we do. And we have a dedicated day as an agency here for loading. Okay, this is another thing to benefit from. We load social media content for all of our clients and ourselves on a Friday. That's it. That's loading day. That's the day of the week where we'll go, okay, we could possibly do this with a glass of wine in hand or a cup of coffee and be able to load all that content.
Because once I graduate, I'm an artist myself. So once I graduate, one of the things I'm going to offer, I'm probably going to do it on Fiverr or something like that. I'm going to offer, I'll optimize your social media. Yep. So maybe I can use Edgar and work with a client. And like you guys did, get my master document, use Edgar and use all the variations to come up with them a campaign to bring notice to their pages, to their website, and all that stuff too.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can definitely do that. Now, I do this a slightly different way. I'm just going to stop sharing screen for a minute. I can log out of the other account. I do this a slightly different way when I work with my clients, because I've worked with clients for long enough now that we create a content bank for them. We load it up to our MeetEdgar. They disappear or they go wherever they need to go for whatever reason that they choose, and they move on. And I want my clients to graduate from us. I really don't want them staying with us forever. Love them to death. But ideally, we want them to grow and we want them to graduate. So eventually they're going to move on. So I quite often say, we're going to set up your own MeetEdgar account. So we set it up for them, and you still can load the scheduling. And I'm pretty sure if you have a chat to Lacey, you might be able to become a MeetEdgar affiliate once you've got yourself underway, and then you can start doing it that way. Because quite often there are lots of people inside this space that need that direction inside social media setup. And we have lots of people pay us to do that. It's something that they do. Look at Fiverr, but also look at Upwork. Look at those other profiles out there where there's maybe a little bit better pay for it behind you inside that journey as well. I told you guys, I'm not holding anything back. I'll teach you what I do. Okay, I'm going to just for a second log out between accounts. Lacey, have you got anything to add, or if anyone from the MeetEdgar team got anything to add on what we've been talking about today? Why I switch accounts?
No, I think you've been doing a great job. Like I said, every time I talk with you, I learn something new too. So it's great. I didn't know about that video tool. I hadn't used
Victoria's one
that
of my
one before,
favorites.
so that's great.
It's very good. I don't have it, but they brought in a PowerPoint functionality now that they'll turn PowerPoints into videos. But because we're on an older plan, I haven't upgraded. But that is really handy. Helen, have you tried that one? I think you were going to look at trying that.
It works really well.
Does it?
Yeah,
Cool.
really like it.
Okay, I might upgrade. But Patty said he was going to be nice to me. Okay, now we're jumping into my MeetEdgar. Let me just see. Have we got something in my ClickUp that I can pick up that I've approved and show you a bit of the process? I think I do. Oh, there we go. I muted myself in the process. Sorry about that. I muted myself and I did not mean to. Okay. I have just found one in one of the tasks, one of the social media posts that we need to load to my content. So I'm going to show you from start to finish how we would load a video, how that master document works, how all that process works. You will see communication between me and my team as we go through our task on ClickUp, but I'm going to show you how we would load that to our services category and then how that content then works. So if I share my screen with you again now, and at the end, I'll share our affiliate link again with you if you want to give MeetEdgar a try, or it's further up in the chat. So, you know how I was talking to you before about you'll jump into MeetEdgar and you'll start to see what your schedule looks like by your categories. This is how the categories drive everything. You can see that we've got different things about creating impact. We've got different things about random posts. We've got products. We've got courses and memberships. We've got tips and conversations. Now, if this gets overwhelming, which it does when you're running 4 or 5 different brands through a MeetEdgar account, this is where you start to go, okay, I'm just going to go down account by account. So we'll go, for example, to my daughter's account for a Youngpreneur Society, and hers is a little bit more simple. It's got a general post in it. It's got some products in there. It's got some tips, and it's a very simple setup inside that area. We might say today that we want to change her general category out to, what have we got? EGC products. So the products that she does. So the products that she makes. So we might start to put the products that she makes out on her Facebook page. And then we go, okay, we know what that is doing, but maybe we want to also have a look at her Instagram at the same time. So we have a look at her Instagram. There's nothing pre-programmed to her Insta because she's on it every single day of the week. But the Youngpreneur Society is one of her Instagram ones. So we've got the tips and conversation starters, and we've got the promo products going out there. The other option that I have inside that area for a category to add that wasn't there when we began is the podcast. Where is that? Maybe I've not done that yet. Might be fitting under the general, actually. So we can put our podcast inside that space and choose the right category. So now we can see that category will appear up inside that space. General is a category that MeetEdgar gives us. And if we could possibly ever at any stage in time, guys, be able to rename that thing from general to anything else, that would be amazing, because it does allow us to be able to drive our categories a lot better along the way. Because I'm like, what did I decide to use general for in this account? And especially when we're managing multiple clients' accounts, that's a big thing. But you can see how the content pops up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Request noted. So there we go from there. So you can start to see that you can look at it from each one of the categories. But I can get out of here again and I can just go all the profiles, clear filter, and I can get a bit of an idea of when our social posts are going out. So you see a lot with X, which is not a platform I use a lot nowadays. I shove that into random mode. I've got pretty much a random post going out for most of our social profiles that picks up the one that I possibly forgot to put a category in for. If I choose to move a category forward, like if we need more leads, I might choose to put more lead posts out there. But if I'm not leading leads at the moment, I might choose to take that completely out of my categories and go, we're done for leads. We need to just be moving people towards courses and memberships. Does that make sense to everyone when I'm talking about how those categories drive things and how we move things in and out? Okay, so that's what our schedule looks like. Our library is then created from that schedule. So this will give you a clearer picture, Catherine, about what we were talking about. And again, you can filter by social media category, but I like to have a look at it. And what we can see here is we've got a number of social posts going out to all the same platforms at once. What I know has happened here is someone's loaded content for us, but they haven't done a shuffle, okay? And a shuffle is another really handy feature in MeetEdgar. So we can see our create impact is going out. Now, is it really going to matter that something's going out to Pinterest and it's going out to Facebook and LinkedIn? It's the same post. It's most probably not going to kill me and be the end of the world, but I'd like to try and keep that variation in. And then we've got some different posts that are sitting in here. So you can see we've got video ones in here. We've got blog and links in there. We've got Pinterest pins in there. We've got all sorts of stuff that is popping in. So what I'm going to do is back over here and go settings. I know my category needs to be shuffled. So I'm going to go over to the categories over here. Okay, it is straight create impact. I'm pretty sure that's going to be straight my create impact category. And the other thing that I'm most probably going to shuffle over here is I'm most probably going to shuffle my courses and memberships because we've just brought in something new, and my products and services. And I'll shuffle things up occasionally because I want evergreen content and I want the library just to be a bit more of a mix rather than flowing in from the same area. So we come back over here and we look at our library now. Fingers crossed. We've now got, I should not be doing that after a shuffle. Create impact, yep. Go back and do one more shuffle. This is a trick Megan and I learned. If it doesn't shuffle properly the first time, give this button a few hits. Now it's begun shuffling my content, and in all fairness, there is 1,827 updates in that category. It's most probably going to take a bit of time to shuffle that around, if I'm being fair. But what you can see is inside these categories, under Create Courses, I've got 619 updates. Under Create Impact, which is more about marketing and how to do things, there's one in there. Under Fiverr Gigs, we've got 15 updates for some of the Fiverr gigs that we have out there running. Under Courses and Memberships, there's 152 updates. Under Products and Services, there's 298. Under Testimonials, I suck at getting them. My husband's better. There is only 4 updates. I should go and get some more, but we've got work. Under Webinars and Workshops, there's ones in there. This membership Marketing Circle members group, you can see it's not open. Facebook unfortunately took away third-party posting to groups, but my lead magnets are there. There is other stuff that's going to be there that we'll be able to jump in and use along the way. That's what's happening inside the area. I'm fairly certain if we go to the library, we might see a bit of a shuffle now. Sorry, in our queue, Might see a bit of a shuffle now in our queue about what the content's coming out. So now you get to what your library is looking like. You get to have a look at a bit of your queue. So you can see what's going out today for Wednesday. So we've got tip post here. Charlotte's got something about her Youngpreneurs Planner going out over there. My content marketing retreat's there. We've got some Pinterest stuff popping in there. We've got some Youngpreneur stuff. And I look at the feed and I jump in here once a week and I go, does that look like I want it to look? If it's not going to look like I want it to look, then I can drag and drop one of the posts in the schedule, or I can hit this lovely little button here, which will move it to the next post in the schedule and update and reload. So it brings it to the next thing that's in the schedule. All handy little ways of you being able to refine your feed. If you don't like the text that's with it, you want to edit it, you want to do that sort of stuff, you just hit the little edit button here and you can do it straight from there, and it will update all of the posts along the way. Now, this is the old Composer screen, and I know I'm not switching yet because I'm addicted to this one. I love this one the most because it allows us to be able to see everything in one feed. But we'll get there eventually. We're just old school, and if we've been using something for 10 years, it's a case of we've been using it for a long time. Okay, so that's how the schedule works. Now, if we're going to go in, I'm going to go over to the dashboard over here. This is what the dashboard starts to have a bit of a look at. We're looking at March 5 to March 12. If we go actually a bit further out in our views, because a lot of our content has not been click-based over this period of time. Let's go January. I know we've had clicks, guys. That stat might just be a little bit out. I definitely know we've had stats coming through MeetEdgar. Okay, but you can see what content has been sent. So we get to have a bit of an idea about what content has been sent, how many things have been sent out. We haven't sent anything out for Fiverr gigs, so maybe I should put that in the categories in the last 30 days, or maybe I don't want to. You can then have a look at the account breakdown, which will give you an idea of how much content has been sent to each account along the way. So we haven't sent anything to the Youngpreneur Society because they're 2 platforms that we're starting to build out, but we've sent it through to their Facebook page and their Instagram. We're starting to build out the TikTok and those areas from there. This is a hangover. We can't program to our personal profiles on Facebook, but it does seem to hang in the reports. And it is because we need to connect our accounts, everything through our personal profile, to then be able to connect our business accounts through to MeetEdgar. Okay, so we're looking at what our queue and our schedule is. We've got an inbox over here. We don't use it, but you can use it, and you can set the account up to be able to connect and do those things. Yes, definitely old school, but you can see that some of the posts are popping in. You can see the comments and you can have a bit of a chat and see what you need to do. I personally still use our inboxes from the Meta Business Suite because I feel that that's what they're better at doing. Okay, so I promised you I was going to show you one of the ones which we've got here that allows me to be able to create some content in there. Okay, so we've got a video that we need to be able to run. We've got some social posts, and we should have a master document that's been created. There we go. Consult with me services that's sitting in here. Yeah. So we've got the link that I need to send people through to. We've got the edit from the district link. We've got our promo inside the processes over here, and we should have our master folder, which, if I am doing well, has our video in it. It does. So it has our video in there ready to go. My team is still in the processes of creating the next stage of this, which will be the images that go with this post. But we'll load the video variation just so that you can see how it goes. So we'll download that video quickly, go back to that master document that we're working on, and see in the master document landing pages there. Then I've got my social posts. Now, because I am a business owner who will have posts going out in my tone, and then I'll have posts going out under the brand, we've got first and third party posts. So first party posts are written in my tone. The third party posts are written so that they can go out to the Enever Group and the business profiles. So first party is what we're loading to today because this MeetEdgar account has access to my profiles and my details. We do have another MeetEdgar account that does most of our third party stuff and my husband's stuff because, as you can see, there's enough accounts connected to this baby. We don't need to have multiples. And of course, a long time ago, and this is not a reflection on the guys, Facebook would only allow you to have one Facebook group account connected per profile. So we couldn't connect my husband as an expert and mine as an expert along the way. So we're now going to go and add new content. Very similar process, just understand I've got the older scheduler, guys. I'm going to choose my category, which is Linda Products and Services. It's a video, so I can put it out to our Facebook page. I can also put it out to Instagram. As long as the video comes in LinkedIn space, and we might be able to get it up to LinkedIn as well. And then we hit the little upload video file. So then we should be able to go down on my downloads over here, and we're going to upload that video. Okay. Has not downloaded properly yet. We'll give it time, shall we? Because it's currently under 2 seconds long. Okay, so now we can look at any other pages that we might want to have a look at, but there's nothing else that I'm putting in. We might possibly put X in. It should be under the 2-minute mark. So what we'll do is while we're waiting for the video to download, add video service. There we go. Hopefully that'll pop in. Our video's hopefully uploading now. Now we'll go and put some text variations in. So inside that master document, like I was telling you before, there's first party text. This is a very handy Q&A service for those of you who are in marketing and find that you're consulting against time zones. Yeah, I thought I was going to hit the character limit for one of them. So we've exceeded the character limit for this particular one, and chances are it's going to be X. So if I take that out, we're all good. So see how the link itself has brought up images as well. So I could just put in an image as a variation. So I can put the photo of me in as an option, or I can then manually add one. So then I could actually add an image or add a photo on at that stage. Variations can't have video and attachment, so I need to add another variation. So we're going to manually add a variation, and I'll go and grab another one, and then I'll tell Caroline I've loaded these two. Copy that post in, but the Zulu is a way of selling your time, but without having to sell your time from the point of view of having to have availability. It's asynchronous, so people can ask me questions and I come back to it when I need to. Okay, what are you thinking of here? That's my video file. Let's go and see if we can get the other one down. That could be me. We might have gone over the time limit. We'll try one more time. This is not usual. This could be a case of I've downloaded the file incorrectly or I haven't checked something along the way. Normally we have no trouble with an image upload. I'm going to say it's one of two things. It's either a case that I need to clear my web browsing cache because I've been logging in and out of multiple clients' accounts, or I need to, and that's normally what it is. That's normally what I have to do. Or the file's got a corruption and I haven't had time to check that, which is what I would normally do. I would normally check that video file before I even get it to upload. But for now, just so you can see those two variations go up, we'll put them up with my photo, okay, and we'll save and add to library. So that's how it would go up throughout that process. Now, you've seen me switch accounts today, guys, between MeetEdgar, between client accounts and all of those sorts of things. The video upload is not something we normally have an issue with. So I'm just going to say that's the joys of live training and me most probably needing to clear my browser cache because we were loading videos for clients yesterday and didn't have a problem with it at all. Okay, has anyone got any questions for me? Does it give you a good understanding of how it works? So the key takeaways about setting up MeetEdgar is always we set up categories first. So we know what our category pillars are going to be, what we want to promote, and then we start to build up our text variations. So you will most probably all have promotional posts. You most probably all have lead magnets. You most probably all have tips posts that you're going to pop in there. If you're like me and you've got courses and that where you tend to send people to when you're busy, you want to separate them out from the other services posts that you have. So that you can go, I'm busy, all I'm going to do is promote my courses for the next little period of time. And it just helps you throughout that process. And as I said, I was on the old scheduler versus the new scheduler. I would say it's definitely not a case of MeetEdgar having an issue today. It is most probably a case of my account needing a cache clear. Lacey and team, I would love to thank you for joining us. I'd like to thank everyone who was joining us. And I did mention before about my Marketing Circle membership. I'll grab a link for that one if you want to go and have a look at that. Enever Group.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that.
Yeah, that's okay. You're definitely welcome. Helen, you can tell them about the marketing circles if you like. If you've got 2 seconds and happy to, why grab the link?
I think it's been really great for me just to, because we run our own small business and my marketing knowledge was very low. So it's really helped us build our business along the way. So, and we're picking up now, we're seeing just automatic leads coming into the business from our online social media presence, which is really good. And I've learnt through consistency through Linda, but it's now working. So it's really great.
So there's my marketing circle membership in the chat, guys, if you want to have a look at it. No pressure inside that space. Helen has come a long way. She's been teaching herself from the no levels of marketing right through to marketing. The live training, you get access to all my courses in there. The live training sessions that we do happen at 10:15 Melbourne time. So about half an hour later than where we started off this morning, until we end at daylight savings, and that screws everything up for talking to people around when times run. But we try and keep it as time zone friendly as we possibly can. Catherine, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to be able to do that demo setup of an account today and just allow to be able to start getting in things in there. Now's the time to start taking all those evergreen posts that you've had previously, start loading them into those categories. Give yourself another week or two and then turn your schedule on. The key thing about social media scheduling is understanding that it takes time to set up. You want to automate something. It isn't a matter of clicking your fingers. Okay, you need to put the setup work into place, then test it and make sure it works. Be there to check it the day it goes live, the day after it goes live, the week after it goes live, because we want to get back time within our business. Yeah, we need to invest time. And there are always things that go wrong along this journey. And you've seen it in a live training today. I don't think I've ever run a live training where things haven't gone wrong. There is a training on my YouTube channel that you'll find, guys, if you want to, on Pictory, the video tool that we were doing today. I ran it with Patty a long time ago. We are a referral partner, but I'll pop the link in there for you guys in chat as well. Has anyone got any questions? You've got a marketer of over 20 years here. I'm happy to take questions for another 5 minutes and then we can wrap up. Oh, it's kid time.
I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
So I'm on like our MeetEdgar and like I uploaded like a carousel. It just said like content invalid because even though their images is saying that Instagram business, I think I just did something wrong.
Do you want to share your screen with me? Catherine will have a look. You've got all of us here. We can investigate.
I think I did something wrong.
You're trying to do things while other things are going on. It happens to all of us. Lessons in live training are when mistakes happen. It works really well.
Yeah, I'm like so like it doesn't show what I was just doing.
Okay, so go to the library for a second. Last post that was added was mine. So go add new content. What do we? Yeah, beautiful. So select our Instagram and our Facebook.
Okay, and then for the tips, I think I did wrong. Because the tips we spoke on, like the tips that I make for like the carousels, that will go under the tips and not general.
Yeah, that's okay. So just select the categories. Yep. We can always change the category later. Okay, so craft your content variation. Yep. Okay, so we got some text to go with this carousel. Beautiful.
All right. Mommy. I hear you, Mama. Sorry, my girls are struggling.
We are completely kid-friendly here. I've run my business around children all my life. There's nothing stopping a child being inside the space. How many images did you upload, Dom?
I think I just downloaded too many, but I was deleting them as I go.
Okay, so you got a maximum of 10, yep.
Yep, so it's all 5 steps. Okay, squats, planks, jumping jacks, stretching. That's typically like when I do the educational posts for her pages.
Nicely done.
This is where when I went to the variation, I had 2 different, because I know typically her audience on Instagram is different than her audience on Facebook. Oh, go ahead.
What I would do there is if we're wanting to do variations between Facebook and Instagram and do different text, I would create one set for Facebook and one set for Instagram.
Oh, so one completely separate. Okay, so that's where, thank you. Because I thought the variations was for like different platforms. It's just different
variations is the text that will go with that post and to whatever platform that you want to pop it out to. And I get it because I know the programmers you've been using and it's very easy to make that mistake. So thank you for sharing it because lots of people could do that and make that error.
I just wanted to make sure. So that's probably what happened. So, and then I just click save the library. This account cannot be added. Okay.
You must have selected Pinterest by mistake, honey. Pinterest is not
I have, let me see. So I have a touch screen laptop. So
Yep.
like when I move, everyone faces over, it's like clicking on the other ones. So then I
Just
just
check
click
it.
next step
Yep.
and then, okay,
Save
so,
to library should be fine.
okay.
There you go. Well,
Yeah,
fingers
I tried to do this last week. I had no idea what I was doing. That's why I wanted to do it while I was on the phone with you.
You've done
Just so
well. So you've done your first new variation post. Well done.
okay. All
Congratulations.
right, thank you.
There we go. Okay. Once again, everyone, thank you for joining us today. It has been amazing to have you come here. Thank you to the MeetEdgar team. I know that I said to Lacey, do you want me to just show you how we do it? I thought that would be a process to be able to do this. I will pop the replay for this session up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So it'll be up on my YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to be able to engage and join with you. There also is the free trial option that is sitting inside there as well. If you do get the chance, please, to keep my accounts team happy for running free training like this, if you can, please sign up using the affiliate link that we have in place. I'll pop that back in there for you again. And remember that if you use the coupon code Enever Group, just Enever Group, it will get you a 20% discount off those plans as well. So there we go. There's the promo. There's everything else. Otherwise, if you have not already a member of our Facebook community, because this is the freebie again that we run inside this space, we run a Facebook group called Business, Business, Business. It is what started my relationship teaching MeetEdgar. It was one of those things that I went, okay, I've got to start teaching this to our members and our community along the way. And it's where the marketing circle came from. Fantastic. Yeah. Feel free to ask me a question. Sorry. Jermaine, are you there? Feel free to ask away. Oh, what would I focus on first if I had to start over? Okay, it's what I tell all my clients. I would have got my foundations right first. Marketers are really good, bright, shiny object people, and we go, yes, we're just going to go out there and do everything. The one thing I learnt was without the right foundations, I can't market. Now, I was fortunate enough in marketing to work for organizations who had really strong foundations, and they taught me well in what I needed to do. So knowing what we want to take to market, knowing how the website is going to be in place, and then also doing that one thing at a time. So if we're going to work on building the tips post library out, for example, we build the tips post library out, then we build the promotional post library out, and then we're making sure that our foundations are strong. And the foundations when you build your business are knowing what you know, knowing how you're going to offer it out. How am I going to promote it? Where do I want this business to grow? Because the reality of it is not knowing where your business wants to go is a really hard journey. Because if you don't know it, I have many people come to me going, I want to start a business. I go, great, fantastic. That sounds amazing. You want to start a business? Great. I want to be a marketer. Great. Fantastic. So how do you like dealing with clients so far? Oh, no, I've never dealt with clients. Okay. So how do you like the accounting side of things? Oh, I haven't done that. As business owners, we wear multiple hats. So do also, once you get the money and the funds in place, hire the people who are good at the stuff that they do. Hire the accounts people if you're a marketer and you don't like your accounting and finance stuff. Hire those sorts of things. So the foundations are knowing what you want this business to do. And then as you do things, set up those processes and procedures along the way. And as Lacey said, I've been a long time user of MeetEdgar. Sometimes when you're using an account like mine, you get old glitches and habits because the tech and the databases just kept updating and updating as we go along. So bear that in mind that change is going to happen. So be prepared for that change. One of the things I do love about MeetEdgar is we can search by a category, or we can run a search and we can update social media posts really quickly. And that was a really handy thing. And then, yeah, just be prepared that the journey was going to be there. But the foundations are knowing what the business is, knowing where you want to be, knowing how much time you want to put into it. Because as a business owner, that's the big thing. You can be pushing off into multiple different directions for multiple people along that time. Does that help?
Definitely just reminded me. I had
Yeah, well,
no foundation, nothing when I first started. I had nothing and I didn't know what I was doing. I would be up until 5 o'clock in the morning because I didn't understand that time management was a part of the foundation and just also knowing where you want to go. And then once I figured it out, I was like, okay, this makes more sense now. Makes things easier.
it's huge. It is huge in that journey. And forget if you're a business owner or you're a marketer in anything, time management is huge. Because in the end, as marketers, we sell time. There's no two ways about it. We sell time. We sell knowledge and we sell time. Any final questions? Otherwise, I'm going to say thank you. I know it's late for many people. Thank you all for joining us today. As I said, feel free to join us inside the Business, Business, Business Facebook group. Say hello. Lacey, thank you for joining us today and thank you for bringing your team along.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having us. This has been great. And just a reminder that there is a little handy chat inside the app. So anytime you need help from our customer happiness team, they're happy to support you with any questions that you have using the MeetEdgar app.
And
And I'm
they
excited
are
to
an
see what kind of
amazing team.
content you're going to create.
Beautiful, guys. And as I said, if you have any questions, feel free to join us. This is how I train. This is what we do. We teach you live and what we do. So I hope that it's been useful. And I love to show you that there are mistakes along the way that happen because that's just life. See you all soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.